Starting this here with you before season. I mean, you guys still have about a month before you have any action. Probably won't be able to get outside until you guys go down to Florida. But just your thoughts as practice opened up.
Well, I thought the guys came in and worked really hard. The first, we started Tuesday, so we're only about 4 days in. But they've been working really hard and been really focused. We've got 29 guys, and that's more than we've had. Boy, since I've been here, and that's 7 years, and Coach Herb said the same, and that's 3 more, so probably in 10 years. So got a lot of new faces around. We brought in about 17 freshmen, and it's a good mix. We got a lot of returners, so we're really excited with the talent level we have this year compared to where we've been for a little bit.
What's it kind of been like for you now that you're in your second year, a little bit more settled, and what has that kind of done for you personally? How do you think that will help you guys this season?
Well, hopefully we don't have a year like last year where we only get 25 games in. That was baptism by fire a little bit. I don't know, I feel a little more comfortable around things and just being able to settle in and practice a little more, knowing what we're doing. I think the staff realizes that we don't meet quite as much as we did last year. We kind of found that we don't need to be meet as much as we had in the past, and things just free flowing a little more than they were. Teaching things that guys are kind of used to what we're doing now, and things are running smoother earlier in practice than it took last year.
What has it kind of been like for the guys to come in and try to think about baseball when it is negative 40 outside?
Well, I think the true test will be in week 3 or 4 when we get that blizzard, possibly. Week 1, they're just pretty amped to get back in there and start doing baseball stuff, and the weather outside doesn't affect them. But when you get into week 3 and you get 3 to 4 inches of snow, practice seems to take a little dip there, and hopefully we don't have that this year, either the dip or the snow. But I think that'll be the true sign. It is a little bit of adjustment coming in and thinking about baseball when it is negative degrees outside.
What kind of stuff do you guys work on, indoors? Obviously, it's a little tough to work on defense and stuff like that, but
well, I tell you, our facilities are really good to be able to do what we want defensively. We can get a long toss in the big gym over here. The problem runs into getting the big gym at times with it being such a commodity with high school games in here, and the basketball team and the softball team and the track team. We're all looking for that gym time. Defensively, we can do stuff, for the infielders that's not much difference. Outfielders, that takes a little creative work. We do have the luxury of having a balcony that's high enough to work on a little bit of fly ball action, nowhere near what they get in the game, but
right.
I think we're better off than a lot of places inside, but it is a struggle, and those guys got to kind of come ready to go when we get outside in Florida, because first fly ball they're going to see is in the infield when we play Mitchell. So,
what are you looking for from those guys that come back from last season?
We talked a lot about in the Crown Series, that last game that Logan pitched at Jim, that we wanted to make that the springboard into next year and start our season right there. And the guys came out and played real well that game, and we ended up beating Crown. And we want to try to carry that momentum. It's a long way to carry it, but I think they've kind of have a feel for the way that we do things around here, the subtle differences that have happened, and with fall ball and stuff, that really helps us get ready to go. And I think I'm looking for those guys to lead. Some of them by example and some of them verbally, and I think we'll get that out of them down the stretch. We're nowhere near where we want to be, but we're going in the right direction, that's for sure.
Well, with those guys that are returning, what's kind of the outlook as far as how they'll help you guys on the field, the strong suit that those guys have? You know what's coming back.
Well, it's nice to have all those guys have experience. Most of the returners were on the field last year with a roster of, I think we had 23 last year. I think they all got varsity time, every single returner. We've got guys with a lot of bats. Eric Terrace has started probably, and all but 7 games he's been here. In those 7, he's missed his injury. Kylan Hill has a bunch of college at-bats. Kyle Grote's a senior and really came on at the end of the year hitting the ball. And, I think those guys, Jake Johnson's back in his 5th year, and he's got a lot of miles on his arm and knows what it takes to be successful in this league. And, looking for those guys to lead and excited about seeing how far they can take their abilities and what they can do in the spring here.
And those newcomers, anyone that you kind of think will stand out, or what type of role they'll play as far as, a lot of pitching, a lot of, outfield, what kind of stuff you're looking for them?
With the newcomers, we've got a lot of guys. Like I mentioned, we brought in like 16 or 17 guys, so there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of talented kids. I think they're all going to find their niche. I was talking to Coach Haseman earlier today and saying that, having 29 guys, you can do some things substitutionally and have some roles for some guys, and I think that would be good. Some of the guys that, Joey Hyde won the state championship game on the mound. I expect him to get some innings this year, a lot of them, if he keeps progressing. He was really good in fall ball. We're excited about Chandler Erickson, who also plays football, so we didn't get to see him in the fall, but he's from Chicago, so we've seen him play a bunch over the years and know what he can do behind the plate. Doug Zimmel was an all-state guy at Osakis, and he was a catcher, and now he's working in the outfield and first base for us. I think Doug will be real productive this year. We got a battle at third base with 2 freshmen and Brody Raymond, who hasn't played for a couple years on the basketball team, but looked pretty good, doing double duty here these past couple weeks. But those guys, him and Logan Norgley from CGB, a battle for the third base job with Donnie Mavenkamp, who's from Maple Lake. One of those 3 guys has got to win it, and Brody will help us on the mound, so even if those other 2 guys don't win it, they're going to get some time there. And Evan Ellingsworth is an all-state guy from Mankato who swings a pretty good bat, and I think he'll be in the mix someplace. We're just, he's going to battle Jake Schmitz for a shortstop spot, and we'll see who wins there. But the other guy could slide to third if they beat those guys out. So it's nice to have a lot of competition in practice, and when your roster's 23, 22 guys, you don't quite have that as much as we do now. And we've got a lot of freshmen that I think will come out of the bullpen and really be effective.
And how have you guys as coaches kind of talked to these freshmen from making that step up from high school to the Division III level? A lot of the guys that you mentioned come from smaller schools. Those tend to be they're the studs of their smaller schools, but there's going to be some other kids that play at those smaller schools that, quite frankly, maybe didn't even belong on the high school level. So how do you kind of have them make that adjustment to be like, okay, we've got to step up this game now?
Well, we kind of told them, you're not facing anybody's 3 or 4 out of their high school rotation for some of the smaller town guys. So you're going to see everybody's number 1 or number 2 at the college level, and to an extent that is true. So they kind of know the pitching's going to be better. We know that there's going to be some downtime there where they're going to struggle a little bit. The season's short, so if you get on a roll, you can ride the wave, and if you don't, you really got to battle to get out of the slump. But, we talk about the competition levels better. You don't have 7, 8, 9 at the plate that are just going to stand up there and hope you walk them. Everybody can hit the ball a little bit, and pitching is everybody's got a couple pitches, which is a big difference from what they've seen. And we can tell them all they want. It's a little baptism by fire until they get in there and actually understand what we're talking about. So there'll be some growing pains with those guys, but they're a smart bunch. They'll figure it out quick.
That's good. What kind do you guys have any goals set yet, or that meeting probably not come up so far?
We haven't really set a whole lot of goals. I think everybody on the team understands that probably our main goal is to get in the conference tournament. You get into tournament play and anything can happen. I would probably say that's our number 1 goal, and we're striving to do that. But we want to look day by day instead of ahead a little bit, and hopefully we're getting better each day, and then our goals will be accomplished.